the narrative for next year will come back to metaverses. You know, it's, but they're not going to be in the same context. And Jeff will probably, you'll agree with me on this. It's not going to be in the context that people imagine it. You know, it's very different. Social spaces, individual on a URL. You know,
I said before that, including the project that I was on, and I'm still fond of them. I think they do great things. Yep. But it seemed like many of the metaverse spaces in the previous wave were trying to jump from step 1 to step 12 without doing steps 2 through 11, right? And step 2 through 11 are really about starting small, having small worlds, and then adding those small worlds together. I think what we have is a technology that allows for that, because you can have a small world on this URL and then another one on this URL, and we already have our code already lets you go from one URL to another without leaving the 3D space. So we are building, again, the backbone to what will become the metaverse. You'll be able to go from the Red Bull website as your character, as your avatar, you know, in the 3D space, walking around Red Bull store, and then walk into the Coca-Cola store and never leave 3D, just moving to a different URL.
Do you know the one I love is the visual that you have that comes up in the first video, which is your ape playing poker. And I tell you what I visualize, right? I visualize your ape playing poker. I joined as my roughneck from Martians versus Roughnecks, my previous project and stuff, and I still love those guys, still in with it as well. I joined as that, and we sit and play poker. Yeah. And then we go to a little button. The fridge is there. I open the fridge and I go, you know, my locale, which is getting sponsored to Jeff, so Jeff gets money for it. I click on Budweiser. Yeah, and I get Bud delivered by Glovo to my house. Yeah, right, 6 beers. Right. I then click on the wall, which is Domino's. You know,
the only problem with this scenario
just feels like really perfect.
Yeah, the problem with the scenario is I'm going to want to play my music, and you're going to want to play your music. You have to put up with, in the space that we're in, I'll play my country music, and you'll have to listen to it.
But can we do this? Can we do this? I wonder if you could have segregation. Because if you think about it, right, you can segregate within the space. So you could be sitting at one side listening to your drivel music, and I'll sit at mine listening to the cool stuff, you know?
Yom.